I was wrong about Cyte 9. I know. I know. I haven't even made a video about Cyte 9. I have in fact not made a video, but to preface this, I was going to make a video about how I was disappointed in the fourth underwhelming frame this year for me, personally. Don't get me wrong, Jade, Kume, and Dante are all very fun frames to certain degrees, but they're just not for me. Jade is great. Angel of Death sounds pretty cool. Not my style. 8 of 10 for a frame. Dante, an easy 9 of 10 frame just by the look of him. It gets boring after 3 missions though, because it's just the same 3 abilities over and over and over again. And Kume. Well, before I played Kume, I did a Dark Souls challenge based around the singular version of Dice. But she's fun. She's just not really good for my type of runs for the Hour of Steel Path survivals I do. At least, that's a me skill issue. But Cyte 9? How did I end up liking him? No, really. I'll give you some backstory to this. When I saw his abilities back in late November during one of the dev streams, I immediately said, oh, so it's going to be crap on a stick. Got it. Thanks for the 4 underwhelming frames, DE. Because in my ability, I was thinking about him like, I don't like snipers, except for the Vectis Prime. I never really liked how they felt and how you ADS and zoom in so much with them without a negative zoom ribbon. That's it. That's my snipe gripe. I don't really like invisibility because it's annoying to recast it as Loki or Ashe, move slow with Avara, or bunny hop to play Wisp. So that immediately took off half his kit for me, to not want to grind him and just to get him passively. Well, my dumb self and credit card apparently had a different idea and did a stupid mistake. I went to buy the Gemini skin pack and accidentally bought the Cyte 9 Gemini bundle, which gives everything. I didn't realize this until relogging, and boom, there was a Cyte 09 in my inbox. And because of how I work and how my brain wants to work, I don't like having new stuff not leveled at least one time for the mastery, so I leveled him up. That right there, that was the reason why I immediately fell in love with him. His first ability is insane. His second ability is free ammo, excluding the arc guns, and his third not really requiring a recast. I can just kill and get more time. That's insane. And his fourth, I'm 50-50 on his fourth, but I'd be lying if I said the AoE or the ricochet wasn't fun as hell. With that being said, I also want to point something out. I have been told so many times that certain melees suck, and when I was in the earlier master ranks, I listened to people, but nowadays I don't like to do that because I like certain melees. One being tedious to farm and having the coolest heavy attack in my opinion, turning out to be an insane beast, despite it being one of the worst weapon classes to exist, at least according to me and some other friends. So imagine my surprise when my favorite melee weapon came primed with Zaku. Yeah, that's right. My current favorite melee weapon is the Quasis, which now comes in the Prime flavor. I'll get back to this in a second, but the real reason this video exists is because I wanted to make another Warframe video. I figure, Cyte 9, I've played him it's been about a week that I've been playing him a lot, and I feel it's time to do my current review of him, at least from my standpoint. Firstly, his passive. The weak point kills increase Cyte 9's critical chance by 1% up to 300%. This is multiplicative. So at 10 critical chance with 100 the the percentages, you're now at 20 critical chance. 200 is 30 critical chance, and at max percentage, it's 40 critical chance. This is also for the whole mission, so unless you're doing an endurance run or a long endless mission run, don't really worry about the passive he has. Just think of it as a little bonus. A reward, if you like. And here's the build I'm using for the demonstration, but I will be showing the base stats instead of just mine, so you can see the differences. Now, I already mentioned about his passive, and I did explain that, it's multiplicative, not additive. So, just to show off, I'm going to let this all play out, and you'll see in the top right that I get the passive. It's after the mold augmented. It is called Practiced Aim. Now, you can see it's going up percent by percent, and I'm using a 10% crit chance Fenmore, as the Fenmore is really good when you have low crit chance. So, this is it when it has 111% multiplicative crit chance. It's every 5th shot, give or take. Or it should be. Sometimes it's not. But that's how that works. It's simple, it's easy, and it's not as convoluted as other frame passives. And Naros needs a rework on that passive, I still think. Now then, his first ability, Seek. Starting with these stats in the bottom left corner as a base affected by mods, you can place down an antenna that projects a forward wave scan. Detected enemies take increased weak point damage and become visible through the walls. Separately, you get a buff called Seek that gives all weapons and their projectiles punch through. Yes, separately, as in they don't have to have the weak point shown to hit them through the walls. 3 antennae can be active at one time, the 4th one replaces the first, yada yada, the usual thing when you have X amount. As you can see, it goes through walls. Very, very good. And when the weak point ends, you can still hit them. It's actually quite incredible. And this works on more than just your regular weapons with guns, throwing knives. Is there anything else that's projectile based for like gun weaponry? I'm not particularly sure. But this is what I meant with the Quasis. You could hit through the walls with its projectiles. This isn't the only melee weapon that does it. There's quite a few, actually. So, we got the Tenet Agendas. As you can see, I can't shoot them right now, because I don't have the buff. But, when I do get the Seek buff, I can hit them. It's pretty nice. Same thing goes for the Corfell, which, you gotta have the anime scythe. Okay? You gotta. Because you do really fast bursts with it, and it's honestly just incredible. It also works with the Nefeli? I forgot what it's called. Nefari. Why did I think that was an L? But the Nefari, same exact thing. Can't do it. But when you get the Seek buff out, you can. It doesn't work for glaives, which makes complete sense. It doesn't work for glaives. Cyte Out's second ability, Resupply. Starting with the stats in the bottom left corner, affected by mods, you drop 2 elemental ammo packs that instantly refill the active weapon you're using in its magazine, which again doesn't affect arc guns, and they also grant an elemental bonus, which if you hold down the ability, you can choose one, or you can just have it random. Reloading will clear the effect, and snipers get extra damage. It's great for his 4th ability. You also can only hold 6 on the ground at a time, and I believe it is client side, so when you pick one up, someone else can too. It's also great for slow reload, high ammo weapon cap weapons like the Queller, Comb, Soma, his current weapon he came with, and probably a lot more. I understand why not arc guns, but DE, still, why not arc guns? Give us big weapons, please. Now then, Cyte 9's third ability, Evade. Starting with the base stats in the bottom left corner, which are affected by mods, jump backwards and become invisible for a short time. Killing enemies with weak points increases duration timing, whilst killing them in general, whichever way you want, will give you healing. This one actually has a 60-second cooldown that isn't affected by mods, so at base you would need to get 25 weak point kills as to not have to wait for the cooldown. However, the 2-second cooldown reduction, or I guess timer increase, is affected by mods, so you can get pretty crazy. And finally, his fourth ability, Neutralize. Starting with the base stats in the bottom left, affected by mods, summon the Neutralizer, Cyte 9's Exalted Sniper Rifle. Bullets ricochet off weak points to seek out other weak points. Alt-Fire lobs a cold grenade that completely freezes enemies. Personally, I did actually change his last ability in my second build config for my Colossus and have Firewalker for survivability. This way I don't get any status procs while invisible, because fire hurts. You could also get rid of his second ability if you don't need the ammo per se, since if you utilize his fourth you can use Sharpshooter and not run out of energy or invisibility to keep him safe and not seen. And as you can see, the ricochet is really good. And if I remember correctly, they buffed cold procs to make it so they take more damage, if I remember correctly. Well, I still have a couple things to say. Why can't I change the stupid blue stuff when I'm using the Quincy Gemini skin? Why can't I change those? Do you know how hard that clashes? You know what I'm talking about, like the blue on his shoes and the satchels and stuff like that. Do you know how hard it is to make a decent, like, hidden sniper design when you have blue? I know frost camo exists, but that's stupid. I want the dark green camo, DE. Give me the dark green camo! Well, with all of that said, honestly, Cyte 9 has quickly risen to one of my favorite frames, and I think it's really funny because I love gunplay in Warframe. I don't like ability play as much. There's a reason why I typically main like Protea or Revenant, and while Protea is quite ability heavy, I don't have to rely on doing 7 things just to get 1 buff. In Revenant, I can just cast his second ability and just be fine. And just utilize my guns like the Phantasma or the other weapons I love. So it is very surprising that of all the frames that I end up liking, with my most hated weapon gun class of snipers, ended up me liking Cyte 9. What a fun turn of events. But, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment down if you want to see more Warframe videos, or see me, I don't know, do another review on a different frame and how I like them. Otherwise, stay tuned till next time. Hope you found the Grinkle Can this video. If you haven't, you might want to rewatch the video. Find the Grinkle Can. There's no reward. It's just there for fun. Or is it?